talk about now are line releases. I'm very, very big on teaching line releases. There aren't as many high school receiver coaches that teach line releases. I think it's really important, and the reason that a lot of high school coaches don't teach it is because you don't see a lot of press coverage in high school. You see a lot more zone coverage. So they spend a majority of their time practicing the techniques against what it is that they face most of the time. That's why at the high school level it's a real advantage for a receiver who understands these techniques at this level, because you don't see it. It's hard enough to get these guys taught up on these techniques by the time they get to college. I mean, even in college a lot of the times they're not learning these things the way that they should. It's something that I've always emphasized, and I think it's something that's extremely important, because really, if you can't get off the line against press coverage, then you're no good as a receiver. You have to be able to do that. And when you get to college, you better know how to get off the line against press. And if you go to the pros, if you're fortunate enough to go that far, you sure as heck better understand how to get off the line against press. If you can learn this technique, you're going to be extremely effective and a much better receiver than you would be if you did not know how to do it. This will be a very, very valuable teaching video to kids, because there just isn't, from what I've seen, anything out there like it. Terry will attest to this. They don't teach that stuff at all. They don't teach fundamentals when you get to the pro level. I mean, a couple of the pro teams that I've coached on, our head coach or our offensive coordinator, they didn't want to teach this stuff. They're like, don't worry about fundamentals.
Yeah, I agree. It's there isn't a whole lot of teaching that goes on at the professional level, and quite contrary to what people think, there isn't a whole lot that goes on at the college level with the intricacies of getting off the jam. If you don't know it, you better learn it at some point in time, and that's sort of how the coaches look at it. You know, well, he can't get off the jam. Well, no one's showing him how to get off the jam either, and that's sort of how it works. When you get there to a professional team or in camp, there's no teaching going on. There's no fundamentals going on. You're going to receive a playbook. You're going to have to learn your playbook, run your routes, and you're going to have to know how to get off jam. You're going to have to know how to do stair steps and everything else. So it's vital that you learn this.
Yeah, so we're going to start you off at a very, very young age. We're going to teach you how to do it as a high school player, so that by the time you get into college, you're one step ahead of the game. The whole principle behind My Football Mentor is to prepare you for the next level. Okay, we want to make you as good of a high school football player as we possibly can, obviously. They're not preparing high school kids to go on to college. They're not doing anything that teaches a high school kid how to be successful in college. They're teaching them how to be successful within the program and what they do within that program. With MyFootballMentor.com, we have a 6 to 8 month period of time in the off season that we can spend teaching the techniques to kids that will allow them to have more success, not only as high school players, but to be much better prepared when they get into college. So that's what we're thinking about, is preparing that individual athlete to be the best that he can be, so that he can go beyond, that he can make it to the college level. When we teach a kid and he learns these techniques, and a college scout comes and looks at the film of a kid who's staircasing a defensive back, who's stemming him, who's doing single and double moves, attacking his weak hip, going up, catching the football at its highest point, getting off the line of scrimmage against press, all these things. Now they're looking at a kid who can play right away. They're looking at a kid who doesn't have to sit for 2 to 3 years and learn how to do these techniques. You're looking at a guy that can come in and make a difference immediately as a freshman, or at the very least redshirt his freshman year and come in and contribute as a sophomore. So that's what we're about here at MyFootballMentor.com, and that's why we're going to cover these techniques in detail.